been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not? You and I, there's a new
Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Snack127 and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions of 4 Goddesses Online. Yes, and I already know what some of y'all are going to say. Tanek, this game is over a year old. It came out in October of 2017. It's the beginning of 2019. Why are you just now checking out this game? Why are you presenting this old game? Relax, guys. Calm yourselves, calm down. I already know I know it's a year old, and I know it's been out for a while. I personally just decided to check it out. And before we get into this video, I want to give a special thank you to Idea Factory for providing me a review copy of this game. Actually, multiple review copies of this game because I was having multiplayer complications, but that's a story for another day. So we're gonna we'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, special thank you to Idea Factory for hooking me up with a copy of this on PlayStation 4 to check out and showcase to you guys. And I'm very excited, very happy to be able to work with these guys, and it's honestly been a blessing, and they have been a great and very helpful dev team throughout this experience, because this has been a project I've been working on for a few days now. I've had a lot of complications, and they've just been so friendly and helpful about it. So special shout out to them and special thank you. And I'll leave a link to their Twitter and all that stuff so you guys can check out more projects and games from them in the description below. But if you don't know what 4 Goddesses Online is, it is a side arc from what I know. I don't know too much about it. From the Cyber Dimension or Mega Dimension Neptunia series. It's one of the side stories, one of the other worlds that Neptune, Nepgear, and all her friends jump into. And this is basically the story of that, or one of those stories. This game features single player and multiplayer gameplay, which I found was a big turn on. It's kind of weird because it's like and I quote, guys, don't call me crazy on this, it's like an MMO trapped in an RPG trapped in an MMO. And I know that sounds strange, but that's kind of why I wanted to cover this game. It's a single player game that's based on an MMO, but it's also a multiplayer game that has multiplayer features that tie in with the single player. So it's like it's MMO Inception going on here. And not to mention there's plenty of weapons, plenty of classes, plenty of enemies to kill, plenty of nice grindy stuff to get, and that's as of new gear and cosmetics, and best of all, anime boobs everywhere. So what's not to love? But anyway, guys, so I've been playing this game for probably the past few days. Like I said, this is just going to be a first impressions and not a full-on review of the game, because I honestly haven't completed it. I still have a lot of work to do, so it'll be a while before full-on review gets here. But honestly, I've really been enjoying my time so far, and if you guys know me, I'm not really much of a fan of playing, games where you can only be chicks. So if I'm saying that this game's, a decent amount of fun, that's kind of weird for me. And I even saw on Twitter, I was starting 2019 off in a strange way. One of the first things I do is fall in love with a Cyber Dimension Neptunia game. I thought that was really, really strange. Really strange for me. But the thing that turns me on most about this game, as you guys can probably see here on the screen, is the combat. This is probably one of the most fluid combat systems I've ever played in an RPG. In general, it's just so easy. It's so accessible. Even the way they do the hotbar and the MMO-like setup in this game, as you guys can see, there's a skill bar, there's a little text chat system, and everything on the right hand side of the screen and all that stuff. And all these mechanics work very well without having a overwhelming giant UI in your face. And it features full-on MMO mechanics, which are weird. It has text chat, emotes, all these kinds of other weird things in there. You can use the text chat to actually type messages to your party. And the weird thing is the text chat even works in the single player, which I find just odd, strange. Like I said, guys, this is literally an MMO trapped in an RPG, trapped in an MMO. But like I was saying, the combat is just fluid. It's fun, even with every class. That's whether you're playing melee, that's whether you're playing a mage, and not to mention, speaking of the classes, guys, there's tons of different classes in here. You have two-handed sword wielders, you have ninja-like shuriken classes, you have outlaw-style classes that are using pistols, guns, you have mages, you have healers. Any kind of play style you want is in this game. And the coolest part about that is all these different classes, you unlock them through the single player as you meet the characters, but they're also usable in the multiplayer. And not to mention, the single player and multiplayer have like a kind of cross progression system to them. Your single player character that you use, you also take into multiplayer. Then the rewards you keep for multiplayer, you get to keep for single player, etc., etc. And as you progress more through the single player, you unlock more missions for the multiplayer. Now, how the multiplayer works is kind of similar to games like your typical multiplayer RPGs. I'm going to say like, dungeon crawler type experiences. Games like Diablo, Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, Monster Hunter. Typical 4-player instances. You go through, kill some baddies, collect some items. There's usually a big boss at the end and stuff like that. But every instance is different. There's always something different to do. It could be a mixture of all those things. It could be, a few different things to do. You could be just going in there to get a few items and leaving. Then again, it could be a full-on raid style thing that has, multiple enemies, multiple things you need to collect, a couple bosses, and just a lot of stuff to do. It can be something that can be done as quick as 5 minutes. Then again, it could be something that takes as long as 30 or 45 minutes. All depends on what the mission is, what the job is your characters have to do. Now, another thing that turns me on about this game, honestly, is I do like the art style and the graphics of it. Now, unfortunately, I'm playing this on PS4 Pro. There were no PlayStation 4 Pro enhanced features, which kind of bugged me. I was hoping to get some flashy stuff and everything like that, but the graphics are really good. I have to give it to them. There's not really many frame drops in this game. There's not really many stutters or issues and things like that. And another thing that I've got to respect about is even for a single player game, they do good at keeping the MMO effects in here. The particle effects are amazing. Like when you get a group of 4 players together and you guys are just spamming spells, swinging swords, fighting a giant enemy and stuff like that, and all the effects are going off, there's no dips, no drops, no disturbances, anything, nothing crazy like that at all. The game runs really smooth for what it is, and I can honestly really come to appreciate that. The only things that I really have a gripe with this game that I can think of, honestly, off the top of my head, is number one, the net code in here is just it's pretty bad. Don't get me wrong, multiplayer is very, very playable. It's very enjoyable. I honestly had a great time playing the multiplayer. But it seems that whenever you are not the host, your connection to that person, regardless of how bad or good their connection is or yours is, your connection is just pretty flawed. It's a little laggy, it's a little skippy at times. I do just think that the net code for this game needs a little work, especially since it's just doing something as small as 4-player instances. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no internet expert. I don't know the requirements and all the different things that have to go into that, but that is, my only thing. That can make multiplayer a little bit tedious and a little bit of annoying task sometimes, just the lag and stutters. It's just those small dips when your character runs around. The thing is, it's just a weird thing. When you're in combat, it's just fine. It's literally just little dips that happen while you're walking. So I don't know if that's an error with the game, something small that they can patch, or what the kind of deal on that is. And my only other complaint, last but not least, for this game is the fact that there's no full-on multiplayer to it. I love how they integrate the single player and the multiplayer, don't get me wrong, but the way this game's set up, and especially since this game is actually a game based on an MMO, why didn't they just make the single player and multiplayer one big giant thing just together? Let people play the whole single player campaign with their friends, because during the single player campaign, And as you guys saw, I'll show the footage here again real fast. During that whole campaign, you are playing with 4 other AI players anyway that could simply just be switched out for real players. And keep in mind, these AI players are the classes that real players use when they play the game anyway. So why didn't they just make this game go by its title and make it a full-on multiplayer experience? I mean, it's called 4 Goddesses Online. Why not just let everyone play it as a 4-player 4 Goddesses Online? That's the only two things that really bug me about this game personally. Other than that, I really enjoy it, and especially with it being on sale for $14.99 right now, guys. If y'all are looking for, a really fun multiplayer RPG to grind and play with your friends, I would definitely check this out. And not to mention, the multiplayer is easily accessible. It's something you can do literally right after the game's tutorial. You don't have to go through 1,000 hours of campaign just to access the multiplayer. It's really, really, really simple. But anyway, guys, y'all enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button for me, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Snek127, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out, take care.